Hey travelers, Mag and I here on day 75 of our trip across the United States. We decided to cut out on all the country driving this morning and get straight to the Capitol building. We're here on the grounds of Madison. From here we've got about another 200 miles to cover today from here to Lakeshore. That gives us a couple of hours to go explore the city and get to see what the capital of Wisconsin's all about. We know there's going to be some great geocaches here. We've got some really scenic points within the city and some really good geocaches to go find. After we finish that, we'll start making our way toward Lakeshore and see what the rest of the day has to offer. So come along and join us for the fun.
Opened in 1917, the Wisconsin State Capitol building in Madison houses both chambers of the Wisconsin legislature along with the Wisconsin Supreme Court and the office of the governor. Standing at 284 feet, this is the tallest building in the city. Legislation actually prevents any buildings being built taller than the columns surrounding the dome.
Tell me you don't see that squirrel over there. Okay, now you see that squirrel over there. Alright, go say hi. Go say hi to the squirrel. You know what that's at? Just the squirrel. That way, huh? Oh, that does look good. Ooh, look at that. Quite a haul in here. Lots of goodies. Logbook. Trackable friend. And room for more.
There are several virtuals spread around the University of Wisconsin-Madison campus, but unfortunately parking on the campus in the middle of a weekday is difficult, to say the least. We were fortunate enough to have the opportunity to visit one though, and one was all we really needed because it gave us a chance to tour at least a small part of the campus on foot and the rest by car. Founded in 1848 when Wisconsin achieved statehood, this was the first public university in the state and remains the oldest and largest university in the state. So a visit was on the must-do checklist of our tour of Madison. The Lakeshore Nature Preserve is located at the far end of the campus and fortunately does have an area to pay for parking. This provided Aichan and I a very welcome opportunity to enjoy the trails on our way out to the end at Picnic Point. Not only are you treated out to views over the water on either side, but there's also many picnic areas to enjoy along the trail.
Well, that's not where rocks go. That's it. We found it, girl. It's our prize.
A traditional, an earth cache, and a virtual out here. Not a bad deal at all. Nature, from the pebble to the rock, from the water to the sky, inspires me. This quote stuck with me as I enjoyed the view. And when I was done, Aichan was there patiently waiting for me, asking the age-old question, is it time to go back to the car? Heading west out of Madison, our first stop was the Mount Horeb Veterans Memorial Park. Because of course it was. The establishment of this Veterans Memorial was a joint effort from DFW Post 9511, American Legion Post 113, and the Wisconsin Vietnam Veterans Chapter 4. Dedicated in September of 2021, this Veterans Memorial is less than 2 years old still. And it is another great tribute showing support for our troops in a small town in Wisconsin. On our way out the door, we got to meet Wavin Walton and the Troll Under the Bridge, both carved out of locally sourced trees. Next stop on our westward route is the Governor Dodge State Park. The towering Deer Cove Rock Shelter was once used as a shelter by early settlers in the area, which has made it a great site for archaeological investigations. This park also features some very nice beach areas. Unfortunately, they were pretty crowded when we arrived. But it turns out we were just in time because that group was just getting ready to depart. Not too far from the waterfront access, you can find Stevens Falls. It is a very short and a very pretty trail to walk out there. If you follow just a short branch, you can visit the Rock Spring House. Essentially, this building operates as an old-fashioned refrigerator. From there, you just follow the sound and the flow of the running water to reach the falls. You'll reach the upper viewing area first and then have to descend down a flight of stairs to reach the lower viewing area. And based on the picture we saw on the way in, I'm guessing these falls normally have a bigger flow. Departing the state park, our next stop was Peck's Landing. Depending on the time of your visit here, the view is always going to be different. This is a spot where sandbars are in constant fluctuation, so every visit's like the first time. We always love a library, and we always love a little free library, but we love little free libraries the most when they also host geocaches, particularly when they're well integrated into the design, as this one was. We still had time for one more unplanned stop when we reached the Richland County Veterans Honor Roll. There are many unique features we discovered here that help to set this apart from other veterans memorials. Designed in a wedge shape, the granite monuments are arranged in chronological order by the date and the war, moving in a counterclockwise direction. There are over 8,300 veterans honored here across the 11 monuments, starting with the War of 1812, the Mexican War, Civil War, and moving all the way up through the Global War on Terror. It never gets easier seeing all those names spread across the wall like that. So many soldiers, sailors, and airmen that will never get to make it back home again. We realize that the veterans memorials we see along the way are some of the most heavily featured items on these videos. And that is not by accident. It's the least we can do to help keep the memories alive for our fallen brothers and sisters in the armed forces across all branches of service. Now let's close out the day with a few more finds.
Well, hello back there, little guy. How are you doing today?
So, the geocache is right there. Now, how to get to it?
Seems like a pretty stable structure here. Piled on top of each other. Let's hope it stays that way. Easy day.
Just about the time I'm thinking, I've seen it all, and I see a UFO on a trailer. So, there's always more to see out there on the trails. But not today, because this little guy lets us know that our adventure is over.
All right, travelers, as usual, that setting sun tells us that today has come to an end. You know, every day when we begin, we have a plan of what we think is going to happen throughout the day. And to some extent it does. We get all of our counties and all of our pages each day. That's a must. But what we think is going to happen isn't always what happens. What we thought was going to happen today was that we were going to have a big afternoon in Madison, Wisconsin, and that we were going to get a lot of time to explore the capital, see the different virtuals and geocaches there. What we found out was, in the middle of a weekday, that there's nowhere to park in the city. Even if you're willing to pay for parking, good luck on finding it. So we ended up skipping most of the virtuals, most of the geocaches we wanted to do in town, but it all worked out in the end. We had a great walk out on the peninsula, about 3/4 of a mile out, 3/4 of a mile back, and it provided us the best view of the city possible. We absolutely loved it, and it was really the best part of our day. That's not to say that the day wasn't great though, that we saw plenty of great sights along the way, and we enjoyed a lot of great geocaches too. We're just on the edge of Lacrosse now, but the GPS says that we're not going to make it in time for sunset, so we decided to stop along the way and say goodnight to y'all. Thank you for joining us. We had another great day out here on the road in Wisconsin, and tomorrow is going to be our last day in the state. Looking forward to it, and we hope you are too. Like this video, subscribe for daily updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.